In today's Redstone video, we're actually going to be taking a look at something from the previous Redstone video, which is this little section right here. So for those of you who don't know, in the previous Redstone video, we took a look at a bunch of community-built scary piston doors, and this was one of the ones that I featured in the video. It looks absolutely fantastic, but one game mechanic that I really liked in this thing was the drawbridge. As you can see, if we walk over these tripwires here, we get a bunch of slime block action happening, but the drawbridge retracts itself. So there we go. It's moved completely out of the way, and then if we walk over the tripwire again, you will see that the drawbridge pops back out. Eventually. I think it takes a little while, but then there we go. I mean, how cool is that? Is that not just the coolest thing ever? So the first thing that I want to do is I actually want to kind of reverse engineer this and try and build one for myself, and then I want to try my best to make some improvements. I don't even really know where to begin with this one. I guess construct some form of flying machine that pushes everything, and then so I guess this is my little flying machine, but then I'm assuming it would be smart of me to actually put pistons up the front of here so that we can push as many blocks as possible, because obviously otherwise these blocks are going to be taken into account, and that means our drawbridge is going to be relatively small. So I would say 2 pistons there, and then where should the observers go? I think this could potentially do it, so let's just put 2 blocks of obsidian up at the end, just so that we can test out this motor system here. Okay, that looks interesting enough. And then I guess on the retraction, if we have another motor at the end, then we make sure that this one fires first so that it moves out the way first. Yeah, I think I've got this. I think I know what's going on here. Or not! My motor's off! Alright, okay, we managed to save it. Test number 1 of launching system. Making sure everything's working. Boom. It's not gone well. Not gone well. Not gone well. Not gone well at all. Oh my word. Okay, that wasn't so successful. Let's give it another try. If we hit the button. Okay, so we have a little bit more time now, which means that those top pistons there. Ooh. That is interesting. That is very interesting. Now, if we break these blocks and perhaps leave these as blocks, that actually helps us, you know? Because we then don't need that circuit. That has not gone well. As I was saying, we then don't necessarily need the little... What am I doing? What? I cannot tell you how many frustrations I've been having with this project. I mean, wow. Everything that I thought wouldn't go wrong seems to be going wrong at this point in time. I think we might be getting somewhere. Potentially. Who knows? Who knows? Alright, let's just see. That is looking good to me. That is looking good to me. What are you doing? Oh, is that powering that? Come on, I've got good feelings about this one. Finally, we have managed to create just a simple drawbridge. Now, I have to say, this is quite the feat, because of course this is a 12-block drawbridge, so that's quite a nice little bridge right there. You don't need any obsidian on the top. The only places that you really need an obsidian are in these areas right here. So the areas that come into contact with the slime blocks. And of course, all of this redstone can go as far down as you like. You just need to make sure that the redstone timings stay the same. But this is now fully functioning. It is working. We've got it up and running. So I now want to try my best to do something wild. And you know what? I mean, I'm terrified for it because this hasn't exactly been plain sailing so far. What I want to do is I want to create a 24 block piston drawbridge. It seems silly even saying it. It really does seem silly even saying it. So I'm going to build it in a similar sort of style to the one that we've got going on here. But there'll be two of them. They'll crash into one another in the middle. And then we'll have to come up with some way to... Oh my word. Right, let's try out this launching system. So if we do this, that is that design done. And then that is not actually going to stop anything. Yes, it is. And then this one works in exactly the same way as the previous one, which if we just do that and then go, this will then push back across. Rather depressingly, I spent many hours trying to work on something that never actually ended up functioning. So I've taken things back to a slightly simpler approach. We had crazy piston action going on because I wanted the blocks to be flush like this, but it all ended up messing up and I just couldn't get the timings correct. So we're going to a really simple approach, which is we're just going to have a stopping block. And this block is going to move along and then these two are going to crash into one another and then that is going to form our bridge in the center here. And then the way that we're going to activate the observers is by doing something interesting, because obviously we can't have redstone lines directly underneath them, but we do need some way to activate them. So I think I've got a solution for that as well. I'm feeling positive. I'm feeling positive despite the fairly big disappointment. So let's see what happens here. When we hit this button, our two flying machines should approach the middle. That is... How come that happened? Well, I've changed up some of the timings and now we've got them to come into the center, which is all good. Then both of these flying machines would come in and that would actually create our bridge going across. Then we just need to work out how we're actually going to do the sending back mechanism, because that's going to be the complicated part. Please work, please work, please work, please work. Okay. So there is the bridge all constructed. Right, okay. We're doing good, we're doing good, we're doing good. Alright, now it is time to actually start placing in the system that will allow us to actually retract this mechanism. So if we hit this button right here, I've actually done some of the groundwork. So you can see those flying machines actually fly out the way. They return back to their original locations. And that is all working perfectly. But now what we need to do is we need to make these flying machines function. So the way that I'm going to do it is we've got string here, and then we're going to have some string here, and then we're going to have string here as well. And these systems, obviously we can't really have redstone underneath the bridge, alright? This redstone is obviously here, but you could reroute this, you could do whatever. That doesn't need to be underneath. Whereas this actually needs to go underneath the bridge. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build a system where entities get launched at this string, activating it, allowing us to, well, I guess fire these things without redstone being too nearby. It's going to be interesting. I'm not 100% certain that that explanation made any sense, but this is the circuit that I've created, and if I hit this button right here, I'm hoping that it functions. Armor stands don't go as high as I thought they did. Okay, that's one to remember. It also doesn't necessarily help that I had obsidian in front of both the flying machines, so they wouldn't have gone anywhere anyway. So let's just try again without the obsidian. Yes! It actually functions! Oh my word, this thing actually works. So if we hit this button right here, everything works. Obviously the armor stands kind of bump up and down, but these things then fly into the middle. And we have got ourselves one bridge going right the way across. And then when we hit this button again, I'm hoping that the timings are correct. it's tight. But it works! It actually works! We have built a drawbridge system that functions! Oh my word, I can't believe it! We finally got there! This has taken me so many hours! Right, okay, I'm gonna build 2 islands. So if we are standing on island number 1 and we want to get over to island number 2, we just have to hit this button right here, and then everything will begin to happen. And we get a bridge appearing. We can just run along like this, make our way over to the other island, and then because we don't want anyone following us, we hit this button right here, and then everything will be folded away and the bridge will be removed. Nice! Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. I am chuffed to bits. I cannot believe we have managed to pull that off. There were times during this building process that I didn't think we were going to be able to do it, but we did it. So I really do hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please also that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.